Hello, at last, I am live. So I was having difficulty jumping on to this live stream. I had to restart everything, but I made it. So welcome to this live stream. Welcome here if you are joining me live. Welcome if you are watching the replay. And hello to Facebook and my Facebook page and YouTube, because I'm going to stream in 3 places. So as you're watching, feel free to drop me a comment as we go. Feel free to drop me a comment on the replay. And I'm excited because I have not live streamed for 2 months. 2 whole months. So please drop me a comment and say hello if you're joining. I looked on my Facebook page and realized it had been a long time. Hey Emma, nice to have you here. Yeah, I haven't streamed for 2 months on here because of the book launch, and then I just life. So I thought I'd jump on and make this more of a regular thing. So very excited to share some messages with you. So I've not planned any topics. So if you've not tuned into me before, StreamYard, Emma, yeah, it's StreamYard. They let you do 3 in 1, I think. I think 3 in 1. So yeah, I love using this platform. Yep. So yeah, I haven't planned topics, so I thought I'll just see what comes through, see what we end up connecting about, and I can channel some messages through, because there's a lot going on, and especially today, with all, I'm not going to kind of go on into the topic right now. There's enough of it here on Facebook, but there's a lot of polarization happening, right? And there's I've seen a lot today just scrolling through, heavy energies, lots of grief and mourning, lots of irritation, lots of frustration. I've seen, because I personally connect with, I think, very, very different types of people, actually. And I've seen the kind of opposite ends. So I welcome you to this live stream at whichever end of the spectrum you sit. All views and perspectives are welcome with me. I have many clients who see the world very differently to me, and vice versa. But what I want to do is just touch on it before we go into, and I think they're gonna channel some messages through anyway on that, because I've just seen a lot of upset today. So just have a little check in with yourself and see how you're doing, because, and in case you don't know what I'm talking about, it's this whole thing around the Queen's passing here in England. So it's just, because you might be watching this later wondering what I'm talking about. But there's just a lot of energies around it, and I've seen people fight. I've seen people criticize both sides, which was what prompted me to write a post this morning. And I was talking about, if you see it this way, here's some questions to ask yourself. If you see it this way, here's some questions, because I felt like, yeah, there's just a lot of conflict, right? And divide and conquer. Just want to remind you that there's a whole program around divide and conquer, right? As long as they divide people and we're fighting against each other, we're not in our power, right? So if we need to, if there's anyone watching that feels like you're getting embroiled in online fights and arguments, just, check in with yourself and see if you can just step away, because is it really worth your energy, right? Yeah, massive amount of heavy energy. I'm seeing a lot of that divide too. Yeah. So so we're not gonna dwell on it, but let's just take a breath, bring some lightness back. Also what I wanted to do in this session, and just get back into our power, really be intentional with our focus. Now, I'm not saying not to feel things. And I tell you something, when I posted my post this morning, yes, probably some of you thought, oh, how very balanced and measured of me, right? Last night, when I was scrolling through and I was seeing all the memes and the just the polarization of the views, I swear I came onto Facebook and I was probably tried about 4 times to write a post. And every time I checked in with myself, it was like, okay, is this necessary? Is this uplifting? Is this here to empower or inspire anyone? It was like, no, 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 and no. It was just more of a ranty reaction. So I really had to kind of bite my tongue and practice stepping away. And I've had a lot of practice. I don't know about you, let me know. I've had a lot of practice doing that since 2020. So I feel like I'm a lot better at that. So that's where my nice balanced measured post came from this morning. But I just want to be real with you that, yeah, that wouldn't have sounded like that yesterday, because I was very reactionary. I was like, oh, why don't people see, right? Why can't people see? And then I reminded myself that everybody has different perspectives, right? So, and that's what all of this is about as I channel as well, is to actually share some higher perspectives or more expansive perspectives, or sometimes just reminders that you might need to hear today. And a lot of what we share, me and my beautiful team of guides, often it's stuff you already know. It's not, it's not necessarily things you don't know, but sometimes you need to hear it outside. But sometimes, yeah, it is things you've maybe not thought about, or beautiful higher perspectives that maybe, we're all here to learn, right? And I'm always learning from them. So this is what we want to share today. Tracy, you've had to stay very quiet. Yeah, I think that was me. I was like literally zipping my mouth. I have nothing positive to say. Pipe down, right? Because we don't need to stoke the fire. But at the same time, I want to say anyone that is feeling that call to kind of this isn't about not speaking out, but it's about checking in with your energy as to whether it's feeling aligned, right? It's a fine line, because some people are called to shout very loudly. But yeah, that's good, for you to tune in to that. So, oh my God, yes, I woke up this morning after what I'd posted and thought, did I need to write that? Although I didn't type anything negative. Yeah, I do that. Sometimes I have like a post hangover the next day, and I look back sometimes at my previous posts and go, oh, that was a bit feisty or a bit fiery. And then the next day, if I'm in a quieter mood, sometimes it feels like, oh, did I need to say that? But it came out, and if it's aligned and it wasn't negative or harmful, you're probably fine. And anyway, all your posts are amazing. I always see your posts. They're all amazing. They're all very uplifting and inspiring and real. All right. So that's no problem there. Okay. So I want to see if, so how are we going to do this? No plan. So I think there are some channeled messages to come through, just general. I'll just share them with you now. And if any of you want to, let's see how we're going to do this. Yeah, so invitation to any of you watching here on whichever platform, to pop a comment if you'd like some direct guidance from my team. I'll just see if there's anything. Are we going to narrow it down? Yeah, so they're inviting you to think about your growth, your own personal growth right now. So whichever area, whether that's business, creativity, life in general, relationships, wealth, abundance, health, whatever your particular focus is, and thinking about your own personal growth. What have we got? We've got a moon coming up, haven't we? Which one is it? It seems like every week. We've got a full moon coming up tomorrow. So again, lovely intense energies just to add. So thinking about your growth, what you want to release, leave behind, what you want to step into. And my team are just inviting you to ask, the more specific your question, the more lasered they can be. But you're welcome to ask for general. But pop a question below if you'd really like to receive some guidance, and we'll do that for you. On anything to help you with your growth at the moment, what you're focused on. All right. So these last 2 years have really taught me how to heal my people pleaser. Yeah, same. Because before 2020, I was still sharing like what I felt was my truth, my perspective to help, but I was just very nice about it. I still am very nice about it, I think. But it was more like dilute. It was like a diluted version. But why? Because it was just trying to keep the peace. And anyone that's gone through some trauma or relationship issues, or most of us have, right? We can have this dynamic of just really feeling the need to keep everybody happy, not to rock the boat, not to be confrontational. For me, it was also not to exclude anyone. So I was trying to speak to everybody to keep everybody happy. I mean, we can't please everyone. So I'm with you on that. Yeah, I've healed some of that. Still some more to go. But learning how to just, I guess it's sharing. Yeah, they just want us to share a message about throat chakra, and for a lot of you tuning in, is to learning how to speak your perspective, speak what is in your soul to share, but without worrying about where it lands or how it lands. So the message is, what a lot of us are doing, they're saying, is that we're not only trying to kind of concern ourselves with what we're saying, we're also doing well, when it lands over there, What will they think and feel? How will it be perceived? What will happen then? And then all these things that are not in our control. So we're learning just to speak our perspectives, share it with the world from a very loving, positive intention, even if it is direct. Sometimes it feels like, sometimes the message is direct, what we share. But if we're doing it from a place of, we're not trying to like shake anyone upside down, we're just being direct and just sharing it, and wherever it lands, it lands. Right. So that's what I've learned as well around my book. When I've launched my book last month, I learned this great thing from Elizabeth Gilbert, who wrote Eat, Pray, Love. And she, at a workshop I went to a few years ago, and she said when she launched her book, she realized that when it went out in the world, it was no longer her responsibility. It just went out into the world. Hey, Darlene, you made it. Welcome. It went out into the world, and it's not her responsibility how the book was perceived. And if any of you have read Eat, Pray, Love or watched the movie, Elizabeth Gilbert, she talks about how people were writing to her saying, thank you for the book, thank you for the amazing message. That scene where, me and, you and your mum did this or something. And Elizabeth Gilbert said, well, I didn't write a scene with me and my mum in it, but somebody had perceived that she did. And that really stuck with me. And it made me realize that once things are out of our mouth, how people perceive it, hey Tracy, how people perceive it and how it lands on them, it's really not our responsibility. I'm going to get out of this thing of you made me feel this and you made me feel that. So that's what I've been practicing, especially since launching my book, which is here. Quick plug. Above and beyond. It really helped me kind of get over that. Well, I won't say get over, but become more comfortable with just sharing a message and knowing that some people will get it, they'll get me, and some people will interpret that completely however they interpret it. So that is what we have to say about that. So yeah, pop a comment below if you would like to. Oh, thank you, Darlene. Love to me and my book. My book appreciates it. So do I. Yeah, I've loved putting it out there. Okay, so let me just see what any collective messages that come through, and then if anybody wants, like I said, any area of growth that you're just wanting some guidance on, and if you're not sure, ask and see what it feels like to receive guidance, because they're very good at giving you a reassurance or something that you need to hear right now. Okay, so let's see what they want to share first of all. A couple of messages. And I'll just take a moment because I could just talk and talk and talk. All right, let's see. Okay, so a couple of messages. Okay, so the first one that's coming through, and again, this is not for every single one of you, but they're tuning into the collective energies. So that includes you watching and anyone tuning in later on the replay. The reminder for you to really allow yourself to feel what you feel. They're smiling as they're saying it, saying, we know that you know this. We know that this is not new, but often in your human experience, especially those of you who are very intuitive, you're expanding more and more, and you're aware of what it means to exist in the higher frequencies and practice them. Sometimes what is occurring is that you are coming away from the body a little bit more than is desired, and in doing so, some of you, not all of you, but some of you are having the tendency to almost, they're using the word bypass, but not in a very kind of soft, gentle way, kind of bypass and come out of what you feel, because you already know that your thoughts and energies and focus are important and they're creating and shaping your reality. But then sometimes you're just being a little bit rapid and quick to get there before you've had a chance to feel. So they just want to remind you, that those of you that need this, the importance to really, really feel. And it is absolutely okay if you are feeling so-called negative emotions, which are not negative emotions, but let's call them the heavier emotions, the ones that do not feel pleasant in your body. We want to remind you that it's okay, and more than okay. In fact, it's expansive for you in terms of your growth to really sit and feel what is coming up. Many of you today and beyond today are feeling annoyance, frustration, anger, despair, depression, anxiety, fear, doubt. And we want to remind you that these are simply human emotions, and what they're doing is they are passing through your body. You giving space to breathing and feeling allows them to pass. Again, most of you already know this. And if you don't, this is a reminder and a really a remembrance for you to feel them and know that as you're feeling, this is what is helping you move out of the stuckness. And it is the golden ticket, if you like, to being able to start to move upwards in your growth and in your frequency and vibration. So don't be afraid. They're saying to have the off days, to have the days where you don't feel like playing anymore, which is a lot of you are feeling this. So they want to reassure you that this is okay. Oh, see, yeah, good. So let's see. So you're feeling tired here with mum and brother, yeah. So just see. Oh, so he takes more energy than my mother. Yet at this time, I feel like I have so much to do, but feeling bogged down by this obligation. It's such a pivotal time. Okay, when I thought I'd be working on my business. Okay, feel and allow, spot on. This experience is all feel like it is going to feed my purpose, but struggling while getting through it. Thank you for the message to feel the feelings. I'm using Qigong and breathing. Yeah, those are great, 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 great. Yeah, this feeling that you're talking about, like bogged down by this obligation at this pivotal time. I'm sure they want to share something on that because a lot of people feel like that. I've had a lot of when I do laser focused channel sessions, or I channel for people privately. There's a lot of what comes up is, what am I supposed to be doing? Because I feel like I'm aware of what's going on in the world, but what the hell am I supposed to be doing? I'm not doing anything of substance. And I'm pretty sure they want to channel something through on that for all of you, and Darlene as well. So each of you here that are present on the earth plane in current times, we remind you that you chose, as you already know, you chose to be here to move through this this time period in humanity's history. So your very presence, and they're saying, we know as we say this, some of you are going to feel the annoyance of this, but this is okay. Your very presence here on the earth plane is anchoring in many light codes. This is happening even when you sleep. This is happening when you are in the bath, eating food, watching TV, or anything that you're watching. It is happening just by your existence. And so this relates to you, especially you here receiving this message. Messages such as these do not fall on anyone's ears. They fall on the ears of those called to receive these messages and activations. And so if you are tuning into this message at any point, know that you are here and you are doing this work simply with your existence. Many of you will be going on to assist humanity in more direct ways. Some of you are already doing this, and so you will continue with the evolution of that. Others of you have not yet stepped into it. You may have an idea about what is calling you, but you have not yet taken the steps, and this is all fine where you are. And others of you have not stepped into it at all. Some of you listening still doubt that you're even here for any of it. And so you wonder, how could you, the insignificant, unspiritual being that you are, do anything to assist humanity? And so we send you so much love, all of you, and remind you that each and every one of you listening to this message and receiving these words are here to assist humanity. And so breathe into that. Feel the truth of that message. Know that by receiving these words, which contain light codes, they are awakening whatever needs to be awakened inside of your body, inside of your DNA. And know that in your own divine timing, will you move into other energies. Hello, Wisteria. Hello. Know that everything is occurring in its exact timing. Some of this makes sense to you, some of this does not make sense to you, but releasing the pressure and allowing yourself to move through your days, move through your experiences right now with a trust, if you can, that as you step out, another step will reveal itself. You keep stepping, and another step will reveal itself. And so, what you are doing, you're being taught how to let go of the planning and the linear ways of moving through your lives, of having a complete concrete plan. This is very uncomfortable for many of you. So, we want to reassure you that all is well. And so, you can release the heavy burdens, the obligations, the guilt, the pressure, the urgency. This does not mean that you cannot move forward, but doing so from a state of trust as far as you can, and reminding you that each and every one of you have guides around you. Each and every one of you have guides around you. Some of you feel these and you are experiencing more and more synchronicities and feelings and vibrations and things that maybe don't make full sense. Some of you are very aware of your guides. Some of you are yet to connect. Some of you are yet to acknowledge that you have them. So we want to remind you that each and every one of you have them. They are not reserved for special people. It is not just for channels or psychics or healers or any other labels that many humans attach to. Each and every one of you is a spiritual being in the human form, and so by this existence you automatically have guides assigned to you. Sometimes they whisper to you, sometimes they nudge the right information, sometimes you get an inclination to go somewhere, to not go somewhere, to watch something, to tune into a live stream, to take a walk. Trust this, and the more you open yourself up to this with love, know that you are safe, know that you are protected, and know that more and more of you are going to be waking up to your multidimensional natures. More and more of you are receiving the call. More and more of you are remembering who you really are beyond the cliche. And we cheer you on from all around you. We have never not been around you in some shape or form. And they said that with so much. I get very pink when I channel because the light codes that come in, they are so full of love. They are so high frequency. They really mean it when they say it. So I hope that you felt that, because I definitely did. So I get really, really. You see the beginning of the live stream and the end of the live stream, and I'm like, okay. Oh, you're loving this message. I feel it deeply. Thank you. Wow. Oh, I'm glad. I'm so glad. That's why we share. Good. Feeling impatience. Oh, hold on. They're all coming through now. Hold on. Oh, I'm feeling impatient since I've seen the contributions I dream of offering. Well, great that you've seen them. Great that you've already received that, right? Sitting a lot in front of the TV with mum because she gets lonely. Let go of the planning. Thank you. Yes. Yes, that's kind of a new thing for me as well, darling, because I love to plan. I've always planned my life. And the last few years, I'm practicing how to let go of that because I really do love planning. So now I just do it more of a fun in a fun way. I can't wait until it's more easeful. I can only imagine the uphill from here before I get to the top of the mountain. Oh, that dread. I dislike that sensation. How can I make it easier? I forgot what joy feels like. Okay. Let's see. So first of all, they're acknowledging that your awareness and that you're already in tune with where you are. And so rather than look up to the top of the mountain and see it as an uphill struggle, you can if you choose it to be that way. But if you wish and you choose, they're reminding you of your free will. So even if you're in an experience that you're not particularly fond of, which many of us are in some way, you can choose how you move through it. So, okay, so they're showing me like if you had to roll your sleeves up and clean the entire house and it was really, really in need of a clean, you could do it from a state of exhaustion, annoyance. You haven't had any food, so you're hungry and kind of grumpy. You could do it in a state of stress, or you could, if you chose, to make sure that you've drunk plenty of water, you've had a nutritious meal, you've then had a little bit of a rest, you've put some music on, and you've decided to clean your house, and you've taken that decision, and you've made a conscious choice, and so you're moving through it gently. So they're just asking you just to reframe how you're seeing it. So rather than see it as a struggle, just choose that, yes, even though I'm in a situation that I don't particularly love, I'm going to choose to move through it in this way. All right. So it's just kind of just a slight tweak. And they're saying it's just because you've got overburdened with the energies around you, you've just kind of got cluttered and you just haven't been able to get back to that state. But they're saying it's very easy for you to get into a state of joy. It is your natural state. As soon as you just breathe and remember and have a little twinkle in your eye, they're saying you're back into joy. It is not going to take you a long time. All right, lovely. Okay. Yes, good, Tracy. You felt that. I'm so glad. And Carrie, I'm so glad. Yes, 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 yes. Wisteria, I was distraught whenever I joined, but have relaxed immensely. Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad that I'm so happy that you felt that, because I learned something about the channeling just this week, funny enough, and it might sound even obvious to you, but it wasn't to me. So we had builders and people in the house doing kind of kitchen and bathroom works. It's been nightmare for like, not nightmare, but like upside down for 11 days, right? And connected with one of the guys doing the work, or a couple of them, but one of them, and he shared today or yesterday that he felt happier since he came to the house to work. And I'd done a little bit of channeling for him, and we had a little activation, because that's what happens through channeling. And he shared that with me, and I was so happy to hear that. And when I asked my team, I was like, what was that about? And they reminded me that channeling isn't, it's information, higher perspectives, but it's also energy. So they was like, oh, I've been channeling for a year now and I didn't fully see it. But they reminded me that when someone receives it, the same as I receive it when I channel, when you receive it, most of you, you're receiving the energies. And so imagine they're higher dimensional beings. And so they vibrate so high, they can't even physically be present on the earth plane, right? Because it's too dense down here. So as I channel, what I'm doing is not just the information, but it's channeling from them. So there are codes that come through my voice, through the words, and then they reach you. And this is why sometimes just by tuning into like live streams like this, and with other people that also channel energies, you can somehow just feel different. Like I feel different just from channeling for other people. I feel that shift when I just sit with them sometimes. So that's why you're feeling some of these energies. So I'm so glad that you feel them, because I'm just sort of starting to to tap into how it feels for you as well to receive it. So I love hearing that. So thank you. Okay. I felt so stuck lately, but things are shifting rapidly. I've made some huge decisions. Yes, you have, these last few weeks. I'm putting my house on the market in January, and have also decided to close my business, in its current form. Wow. Okay. I'll be starting my off-grid journey early next year. So you're basically changing everything. It's a massive fucking shift. I'm excited. Any guidance would be greatly received. Absolutely. Yeah, you're just shifting a few things there. Let's see. Just take a sip of water as well. Mm. Okay, so first of all, there's like a bit of a gushing of excitement for you to say, congratulations. We are so pleased, your guides are so pleased that you've really listened, you've been really listening. So they want to acknowledge that you've been listening, you've been taking the action steps, which is why you're experiencing rapid shifts for you right now. This is the stage that you're at. So they want to congratulate you on that you're moving. Now, any guidance around any of that? Okay, so they need to ground. So they're saying, be excited, yes, feel those energies. You are feeling a lot of they're kind of saying tumultuous energies, but not in a kind of like a bad way, but tumultuous meaning like they're kind of all over the place right now. So you've got like big expansive energies of change, and then, oh no, I'm letting go of the old ways, right? It's going to bring up some stuff. So they're just, yeah, okay. So anchoring into safety for you right now. So it's not that you necessarily don't feel unsafe, but there is some of that energy coming up because it's like you're pulling up all the roots, and then the roots are kind of like dangling in the air, and they're like, where do we go, where do we go, we haven't planted yet. So you're moving in into new frequencies, but you're in this transition. So they're just showing me like the roots are just like dangling above the ground, and they're really wanting to kind of like be sucked in somewhere. So grounding into safety. So for you, reminding yourself, I am expanding and I am safe. I am expanding and I am safe. And just hand on your heart, just breathing in, I am safe to change. I am safe to expand. I am safe to let go. And I am safe to step into the new. So those four things, you can replay back if you want to write them down. And for any of you as well, if those feel like, oh, those, if they resonate with you in your body, then you can take them as well, because that will just help you. Because what we do is when we expand, we want to expand, but there's a little sort of piece in us. Remember, our ego and our minds are often designed, parts of it are designed to just keep us stuck. So to avoid that kind of, how do I keep myself small and in one place, which I've done many times, saying those phrases each day will just help normalize it, and lots of breathing. And I know you know all about grounding, you know more more about that than I would even. So yeah, just do all those practices, right, that you know, really, because you've got to actively and consciously ground in massive change, which is what maybe we don't talk about a lot when we're change, because we want to hit our goals and change and expand in many ways, but we don't know how to kind of ground into them. And then that's why they sometimes just disappear and we don't make the changes, right? So that's big, big energy for you. Hope that feels good. Okay. Oh, so Wisteria, yes, ma'am. It helped me stop crying immediately and my heart feels lighter. Oh, send you so much love. I'm so happy to hear that. And a reminder to you, they want to remind you, your guides, your guides are here. Talk to them, offload to them, just offload to them. Let and release it by just, okay. So saying, you know how many humans do not, they're aware and conscious not to vent and emotionally dump on their friends, but they want to remind you, and the angelic realm are kind of coming in, nodding as well, saying, we're here, we're here. Ask us, tell us your problems, hand them over to us, let us hold them for you, offload to us. All right. Again, all of any of you that resonate with that, I have to remind myself, even though I channel, I literally have to remind myself if I'm stuck or if I'm struggling with something or I'm like upset about something, right? I have to, sometimes I forget, Marie, you can channel the angelic realm, you can channel the Arcturians. I forget that I can just offload to them. So I need that reminder as well, you know? So Tracy, I was really anxious earlier, but feeling calmer now. Brilliant. Thank you. You're welcome. You're so welcome. And just being, this is why I like doing these live streams, because it's just really a space of you're receiving these energies. It's, again, it's why I I have water and I feel very hot now. Okay, covered in goosebumps hearing you read that. I'm so glad. So glad. Hello, Sonu. Hello. Thank you for joining. Okay. Your thoughts or channeling on the heavy energies, are they really present trying to keep us from expanding? I know that's also choice. Oh, I like that. That's a good question. Well, I'm just trying to think. I'm like reading your question again and then trying to channel. So your thoughts or channeling on the heavy energies, are they really present trying to keep us from expanding? Okay, let's see what's going on. Yes, yes, there are two aspects here. So yes, you do all have a choice. You all choose every moment of your time, your days on the earth plane, of how to navigate this. So none of you are incapable of choosing. Having an awareness, however, of the energies on the earth plane will serve you. And what is happening right now is the collective is more and more, as you move through this period, are becoming more conscious and more aware of the energies that have always been truly circulating on your planet. Some of you have had some shocks and difficulty and challenge with learning this information, and many are still yet to learn. And so, knowing that, yes, on the earth plane, there are many heavy energies, dense energies, and this is understood more easily by understanding that, yes, what you have been hearing around certain entities and energies on your earth plane being in control of humanity for many, many, many years. This goes far back into humanity's history. And so there have always been beings on the earth plane whose focus is on creating chaos, destruction, and lower frequencies and lower vibrations, imagining this is their food, this is how they feed, this is how they exist. And so this is why on the earth plane it is a mixture of beauty and also much challenge. And so, yes, understanding that there are many heavy energies on the planet, but this does not mean that you must be kept down by them. The way to be kept down by these heavier energies is to not be aware of their existence. Once one is aware of their existence, you can then start to make a conscious choice of focusing in on yourself each day. So there is nothing for you to fear. There is nothing for you to use as a reason as to why you must stay in a certain place that you do not wish. So some humans are you almost using this as a reason why they cannot expand, why they cannot create, why they cannot choose better for themselves. And we wish to help you break free from this, to remind you that your awareness and consciousness is what helps you step out of this. Yes, so remembering that you do get to choose, but being aware of the existence, yes. And this is what is happening. And also, this is why it may appear to some of you in certain parts of the world that things are feeling as if they are deteriorating or becoming worse somehow. But really, all that is happening is that the light is being shone upon those dark, dense energies. So more of you are seeing this. And yes, it is uncomfortable, but it is the same as if you were to switch all the lights on in a house and you can see the cobwebs in the corner. This is what's happening. So you are not controlled by it, but be aware that this is what is present. Okay. Yeah. Whew. Yes, it's a big one, isn't it? That one's a big one. Thanks, needed to hear that right now. Wonderful. Oh, thank you. Feeling all of that. Grounding, grounding, grounding. Yes. And that's for all of us. Like grounding, you can never fail. The safe thing massively resonated. Okay, good. Right now, I have no idea where I'm going to live or what I'm going to live in. That's a big thing. It's exciting, but also really fucking scary. I am safe. Wow. Thank you. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And also, if you make the decision, I made this decision recently, and I don't know how long it's going to stick. I like to think it will. I don't know, but I'll let you know. But I made this decision recently, and it was like, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen next in my life, in my business, in my world. And I just suddenly got this insight, and I was like, I'm just going to choose to trust, like, whatever happens, because suddenly it was for no apparent reason, but it was just like an awareness, and it came in, and it was like, I've been through quite a lot of things in life, as have you, each and every one of you, right? We all have experienced some stuff, right? And I just thought, what's the commonality? I have always, always survived every single thing that's gone on, every single worry. And I've had stresses. I've been such a stressed person, right? And if you've read my book, you'll get it. And I realized I've gone through so many things, and every time I thought it was hopeless, every time I thought I don't know how to do this, or I don't know how to make my way through this, or how on earth am I gonna get through this, right? We've all had those experiences, like everything's going to shit in 3 days, right? But how do we deal with it? And I've realized, and do this for yourself as well, haven't you always, always, always got through it? Even if the worst happened in that particular scenario. Maybe they did leave you. Maybe you didn't pay that bill. Maybe, you did have to move house, or Maybe you did need that operation, like take your pick, right? But haven't you always survived it because you're here listening to this message right now? So you are the survivor of every single life experience you've ever had, and there have been many. There have even been ones you've forgotten. And I know this because when I came to write my book, you know how you think you remember everything, you don't. There's so many things I'd forgotten. So if you remember that, and this is what I did recently, it was like, if that's true, and it is, why am I worried about every little thing that comes my way? It makes no sense. Sure, feel the emotion when it comes up and then just let it pass. So the trust thing, what I used to feel was a bit of a cliche because I didn't fully get it. Um, these days, I really get it, and I want to share that with you because sometimes we don't do that. We just don't make that decision. So what if you just decided right now, right here, right now, as we're in this space together, that you're just going to trust whatever whatever comes into your immediate now. Like just breathe that in for a second. If you did that, if you just trusted and knew that your soul has reasons why it goes through things, you can make choices anytime you want. Your guides are around you. This life is temporary. We're not here for that long, really. Not really. Not really. And once we're over and done with in this life, we just carry on the next part of our journey, right? And we go somewhere incredible. Um, so why are we worried so much? And I'm aware that as I'm saying this from this frequency I'm in right now as I'm channeling. And there may be days where I'm like, I don't feel it. But this is something that we get to practice. It's something that we get to come back, listen to this message again, right? If you can just save this live stream if you need to. Yes, trust, trust, trust. Yes. Oh, hey, Lynn. Everything is about choice. Exactly, exactly. And we can't control what we're going to do or what's happening, but we get to choose how we're going to like navigate it, right? Trust and surrender. My affirmation is everything always works out for me. I always have more than I need. I love that. I love that. I have that one as well. Everything always works out for me. That is like, I feel like that's a core belief. Um, and I've chosen that one, and I'm sure you have as well, Emma, right? We've chosen that one. And I swear I've chose that one even in the middle of some seriously horrible bullshit. And another one I chose, was I put it in my book, when I was going through some real challenge. Like, so if you're in the middle of challenge right now and that one feels hard, like everything always works out for me when your whole world is crumbling. The one I used to use was one day this will all be in the past. I did another live stream on that somewhere, but I said one day this will all be in the past. And it's just a reminder that even if you're in struggle in this moment, like some some of us are really going through it right now. So you can just remind yourself, I acknowledge how I feel. One day this will be in the past. So you're not dismissing what's going on for you, but you're just acknowledging that this is not your life and this is not permanent. And this is just you're going to be able to move it. Yeah. Hi, Darren. Yes, that's exactly. It's in my book. Yeah. Because it was such a thing that I used to say over and over and over, and it did become a bit of a mantra. So use your own like language, but it's a good one because it's true. Because then one day I looked back and I was like, I'm not in that situation anymore. So we do get to say that. So, Darlene, I always say there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Exactly. And it's true. And if you doubt it, just look back in your life. And even if you've had a terrible life experience, you still got through it. And you will have had some good times along that journey, no matter how dark it's just not how the world operates. So even if we've gone through darkness, which many of us have, there have still been amazing things along the way, right? Oh no, you're welcome, Darren. Just tune in. You just tune in at the right time. Yeah, there's like 44 minutes of talk. But yeah, watch the replay. So that is it. Yeah. So anyone else that wants to quickly message, just drop me a comment below. Yeah. So just let me know what, just you've seen the comments here. Just, yeah, any other question that anyone hasn't asked me a question yet, feel free and I can just channel some guidance for you. I say that during migraine episodes, it will end. Oh, the migraines are gone since I've got here. Oh, that's good. Well, that's a positive, right? That's a positive. So you've definitely got, yeah. I wonder why that is. That's interesting. Migraines are interesting when they come on, and also when you don't experience them. And it does show you, doesn't it, that it's changeable, that nothing Nothing is static. Nothing stays the same, which can be very, very reassuring, but also very scary, right? Depending on your perspective. 35 years. Wow. Wow. It's a long time. Mm. So, unless there's any other questions, I'll just see if there's anything else they want to just kind of channel for you during this crazy period. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Hmm. Envision. Okay. So they are, okay. So we want to encourage you to take a moment, either today or in the next couple of days, to really envision the next part of your journey. And we say this in a way as to not put pressure on you to know the exact steps or to plan or to strategize, but allow yourself to envision what would please you the most. And so many of you feel, oh, hold on, something's ringing. Many of you feel that you do not perhaps know your destination or your direction or even your next steps. However, you do know. You always know, but what is happening is that you do not perhaps give yourself the space to daydream, imagine, and to visualize the way that you did as a child. As a child, majority of you did not have reservations. You did not hold yourselves back. You were running free, wild, playful, imagining what you would wish to be when you grew up. Getting back into that space, getting out into the open air, whizzing around, spinning yourself around like a child, laying on the grass, rolling around, dancing in the rain, dancing in the sunshine, being silly, playing with your animals, getting your feet into the earth and getting muddy, being less grown up about things. And this way, you allow the visions to come to you, because each and every one of you, again, tuning into this message now or later, are receiving these words for a very specific reason. You are here to envision. And some of you, even if you do not perhaps know in your personal lives, you can instead, for now, envision the kind of world that you wish to live in. Start with your home, start with your neighborhoods, start with your cities and towns, move to the country you're in, look at the world that you're in, and start to imagine how you'd like to be. Start to imagine how you'd like your friendships and your relationships to be, how you'd like to feel each morning when you wake up. Start to think about how you would like to feel in your body, how you would like to move. Are you laughing? Are you dancing? Are you moving? Are you relaxing? Are you gliding through? What are you doing? Are you moving fast? Are you moving slow? What do you desire? And start to imagine your life in these terms, because many of you try and think about it in a linear, logical way. So we encourage you to give yourself space to create, because creating in your minds is one of the most powerful things as a human being that you do, which is why there are many energies that we spoke of earlier that are on the planet that are spending much resources trying to distract you away from this. They know that when a human is tapped in into their potential, into their imagination, you can create worlds. You can create entire worlds and systems and ways of being. And there is nothing more powerful than this. And so this is a reminder to you that you are as powerful as anybody else on this planet, and you are significant. Okay. Okay. Good. I like that message. So I'm going a bit pink. Oh, thank you, Darren, and love to you. We were talking about you the other day, just laughing about you and your dogs and your visions and like how you want to, like the colorful character that you are and everything. And yeah, Michael was telling me a few stories about you both when you were working together, which is fun. He has a lot of good things to say about you. So Tracy, you've been struggling with really bad headaches and brain fog for months. Yeah, it's making it difficult to think clearly and make decisions. I want to do a course, something light-hearted, but I'm struggling to decide which one to do. Can I have some guidance around this, please? Yes. Okay, so there's this saying with like they're surrounding you with love and they're like lighting up and saying, you already know, you already know, you already know, taking off that helmet from your mind that is trying to weigh it up and starting to make it serious and heavy. There is no right way, there is no wrong way. Simply allow yourself to lean into the thing that feels easiest, lightest, more enjoyable for you in this moment. We want to remind you that you're not making a decision on the course as a concrete thing. There are other experiences that you will be stepping into later. And so lighten up this whole decision making process. So they're saying just get into a relaxing state, come away from this topic for the rest of today, get into a lighter state, watch something, tune into something that you enjoy, and you will find that either a decision starts to move through in the cracks and comes to you, or you will perhaps wake up in the morning and you will lean towards one or the other. And so, to really give yourself permission to lighten around this, and they want to reassure you that there is no correct. You could choose any of them. All right. So, often what we do as humans is right, wrong, left, right. And I'm learning more and more from them. Do whatever you want to do and just do it with lightness. All right. So I'd love to hear what you decide in the end. Yeah, but just really lighten up the energies and just go with your joy. Um, yeah. And play around with, if one was a no, how would that feel? Because sometimes I do that. I just do it the opposite. If I can't decide which one's a yes, it's like, well, if this was somebody said I couldn't do this, it was cancelled. Maybe I'd feel okay. If somebody cancelled this one, I'd be a bit disappointed, and then I know that I'm leaning towards that one. So just play around with it, be silly, but come off the subject, give yourself some space, and let the answer come to you. Don't search. Just let the answer come to you, and it may just surprise you. Okay. All right. Good, good, good. The perfect answer to the question I was going to ask. Okay. Thank you. Oh, good. We just we just answered two in one. Okay. Whichever question that was, I'm so glad that you got what you needed. I love that. Did I answer your question directly? No, no, I didn't, did I? No. Okay. Good. All right. So Darren, I finally got into a relaxed state, not worrying about much at all. Amazing. Starting to find peace and ready to decide my next direction. I love it. Just chilling and staying happy right now, walking my dogs and ignoring the world's issues. That is exactly it. And they were just saying that, like that's a really, really great way to do it. Because I just, you don't mind, Darren, if I use you as an example, because I know you posted before about, like working out your life direction, right? And this is a big thing. And I know a lot of people will resonate with that. But the fact that you've got into this kind of relaxed, more chilled state, and you've just kind of just let go of that, you're ready to decide it. But it's interesting that when we just let it go, it comes to us. Like I never, going back kind of, was it like 2015, and I came out of recovery of my illness. I had a chronic illness for 5 years or so, and when I started to just have a bit more energy and I was moving in towards like what I didn't kind of sit there and go, what do I do with my purpose? Like, what do I do with my energy now? I knew I didn't want to go back and be a lawyer, but I just sort of was in this like weird transition, and then it started to niggle at me. And then I'd been training in coaching and therapies and different modalities, and I'd only done it for my recovery, and then it started to kind of call to me that I'd been training, and maybe I'll just create a website just kind of because I felt like it. And it was like one thing led to another. So when we get into that space of just letting it come to us, that's where we get into kind of purpose, like real purpose stuff and direction. So it's such an exciting transition, and I can't wait to see where you go with that, because I know that I feel like you're someone that your life will be unrecognizable, right? If we fast forwarded it like for a few years and then you compare your life to before, a bit like my journey, it's like it would just be unrecognizable. You're living in a completely different way with your dogs. Yes. So, Darlene, dogs are the best. Yes, 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 yes. Tracy, thank you. I really do need to lighten around this. It's feeling really stressful and making the headaches worse. Yeah. So just acknowledge that. Just acknowledge that and notice that this is the thing, when your health gives you, you're welcome, Darren. when your health gives you like symptoms, and I know what that feels like, and you're going through the brain fog and the condition, right, that you're moving through, and the symptoms. um it does feel really horrible when your body just gives you symptoms, but when you start to notice the link between when you start stressing and focusing in a certain way and then your body starts reacting, you can, if you choose, to see it as a really helpful and empowering, because it means that when you shift and you start to work on your own energy, your own frequency, your own focus, your body starts to follow. So I'm really glad that you feel that. Yeah. Because the more you lighten up, see, you already knew that. And that's the thing, you already knew. What did you say? You said something about lightning needing to lighten up around it, or you wanted something light-hearted, right? So your body and your system is saying we want to lighten up, which is exactly what you need. All right. So yeah, perfect. So that is it. That is it, I think. Yep, I said about an hour. So Friday evening now. So I'm gonna chill out and watch something. I found a really like stupid show that I started watching, right? I never watch stuff like this, but it's called Cosmic Love, right? And it's so cheesy and terrible, but it's so bad it's good. And I just watched one episode of it last night. It's like this matching dating thing. It's all based on astrology, and it's just so over the top, but I just found myself drawn into it. And I was like, why am I watching this? It's like, what is wrong with me? Why am I watching this? Because I never usually do. And somehow there I was. So I'm going to just tune into that tonight, because I feel like I've loved doing this live stream, but I just feel like there's a lot of heaviness today with all the polarization I spoke about earlier. So just the need to lighten up, and because I watch a lot of mind bending stuff, or I learn and I study things. It's like, okay, sometimes you just need to switch off from all of it and just get a bit silly. So that's what I'm going to do. So I hope you all have a lovely Friday, whatever time it is. Let's see. Thank you, Wisteria. Thank you, Darlene. You enjoy your weekend as well. Cosmic Love, yeah. It's terrible but good. Guilty pleasure, you know. Yeah, thanks, Mysteria. Yeah, Tracy, yeah, you might like it. It's there's like a what is it? They go into the celestial lounge to meet their matches, and I don't know, but it's like one of those things where it seems really like shallow, but there's a little bit of depth as well, and you can kind of laugh along with it, and then you get sucked into the drama. So that's all. I'm literally going to go and watch that now. So that's my guilty pleasure. So yeah, thank you, Darlene. Thank you, Emma. Love you too. Love all of you. Thank you, Darren. You're relaxing and chilling. Good, 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 good. We all deserve, I think, to relax and chill. And let's just remind ourselves that we came down on this planet to witness this shit show, this transition, the most amazing period that humanity is going to move through. And I tell you, there is so much good stuff to come. It might take a little while, but I have definitely got some downloads for some of the things that are coming globally, collectively, whatever you want to call it. And also my own mission as well, which I know some of you are like kind of linked to some of that as well. Some of us will connect in all different ways, but there I can guarantee you, and I'll maybe just take this away and store it for a day where you need this reminder that despite what we're seeing, and some of it does feel really, really overloading and crazy, and there's a lot of activity in the skies and all sorts of things. We'll maybe do another live stream, but there is so much good to come. And what I'm consistently being told by my guides is that and I've said this before, but there's never been a time where, apart from ancient times, where so many of us have come into the earth plane all at once, and there's so many of us opening their eyes and consciousness to what's happening, and we are shifting so much here. We just don't see it in the physical necessarily, but energetically there is so much shifting, and there's so much light that it has got so much momentum now, thankfully, that it cannot be reversed or stopped. So it is rolling out. And despite that, yes, we're going to see some restrictions and bullshit in all different shapes and sizes, right? I think we're a bit hardened to that now. We're kind of a bit more resilient to that now. But just remember that there's so much here. We are here, and I know I'm personally here on my mission to do some pretty exciting stuff in the world, and so many of us are going to be doing that. So never forget that. And in the meantime, we get to relax. In the meantime, we get to have a very human existence, feel the human emotions. Like I said, breathe and feel whatever you need to. You don't have to be happy and laughy 24/7. You can have off days. You can feel the heavier energies. You just feel whatever you need to feel and move through it. And don't attach anything to that. And you're going to move through it perfectly as you are doing. So you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, so much in the sky. Yeah, Darren, so much. I'm kind of fascinated actually. It's like seeing what's out there. You're welcome. Right, all of you, lots of love. And I will, yeah. So the replay's here if you want to rewind, and I kind of covered quite a lot in the beginning. But yes, and if you're watching the replay, feel free to drop a comment below. Oh yeah, very, very quickly, coded healing. I'll talk about it, again, but just in case you're interested, coded healing 8-week program, post below this one, or just check out on my website, theawakerevolution.com, for details. If you're interested in working with me in a group space over 8 weeks, we start next week, but I'll talk about that another time as well. Okay, so happy Friday. Have a good weekend. Talk to you soon. Oh yeah, thank you for joining me as well. Thank you for joining me. I love it.